Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all good. I hope you're all doing well. Apologies for the lateness. Had a few technical issues. Um, as you can see, I've got Troopz with me. Troopz, how you going? How you doing?
Back again. Come on, G. Trying to get through. Trying to get through this isolation thing. You get me? It's mad, man.
Yeah, how are you coping with the lockdown? How are you? How are you doing? Listen, I watch your daily vlogs, and I tell you what, mate, you seem to be making the best of a grim situation.
Yeah, I'm trying, bro. Like, the wife and kids are helping a lot. You understand? We're kind of teamed up. You get me? And we're getting each other through it. But it's still mad. Like, I get bored, bro, because there's no football. You can't really go nowhere. You get me? You just have to keep yourself to yourself and just stay like in your household. So it gets a bit boring, blood. But we're trying to do what we can in this peak time. You get me?
Yeah, it is like that. You know what I mean? It is. It's one of them that you have good days and bad days. Good
Definitely.
days, good days and bad days. And it is just what makes it harder as well. Is that the weather's decent.
Mm.
That's a kick in the teeth, and you can guarantee it as soon as this lockdown gets lifted. It's just going to be constant rain.
Yeah, pure. They're trying to test us. We just still have to stay inside, man. You get me? But it's hard now, man, because the sun is out, man. You get me? It's shorts and t-shirt weather, and they just got man stuck indoors. You get me? Like, but we have to do it, man.
Yeah, of course. And listen, how you? Obviously, I know there's no football, which is I've been finding that hard, especially at the weekends.
Mm,
Like on Saturdays, I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, great Premier League. And
mm,
then, when you're half asleep and then realization hits you, and it's like,
mm.
for fuck's sake, another weekend with no football.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Weekends are the hardest still because there's like weekend television's kind of shit. You get me? Like Monday to Friday TV is not too bad, but on the weekend, the only thing that's really on is the football. You get me? Or if football ain't on, I'll turn to Formula One, but that's been locked off as well. So you get me? It's just the
Yeah,
weekend is lonely, bro.
it is mad. And how are you? Where do you stand, Troops, on the season finishing?
Mm.
Where do you think it will get finished? Do you think it will get voided? Listen, there's lots of things flying around at the moment.
Mm. Yeah, really. Like in the last couple of days, there's been a lot of talk of the season getting voided because I think the Dutch league have voided their season now. I think the Danish league have voided their season as well. So there's a lot of talk coming into the big European leagues now because it's dragging on. You get me? So a decision needs to be made ASAP. What they're saying is that if they void it, when they look at the Champions League places, who's going in, who's going into Europa, they're basing it on a points thing. And apparently we have
Yeah.
enough points to get us back into the Champions League if the season is voided right now, blood. So you get me? If
Yeah,
that is the case, I want this thing voided tonight, blood. This should have been
exactly.
voided on Saturday, blood. You get me?
Yeah, and I said the same thing as well. And I saw a report today as well that they were apparently going by the points of this season, so your points total.
Mm-hmm.
So that was another option they were deciding. And apparently, obviously, if they're going by this season, then obviously we're well out of it. I think we were something like eighth.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping, like, I don't like all this. They keep putting out this glimmer of hope to us, like, Arsenal could get in this way, Arsenal could get in, and then we'll probably end up just missing out. Do you know what I mean? We'll probably end up just
We're the nearly team. You get me? We're the nearly
yeah.
team. At this moment, we're the nearly team. We're nearly. You get me? But like, if that's the case, then these men need to void the season, blood, innit? Because if we get Champions League, then I'm all down for voiding it, blood. If it's a thing where they're saying if they void it, then you can't really go off league positions now because the title's not decided, relegation's not decided, nothing is actually decided yet. If the season was to continue, we could pick up points. You understand? We got a few game in hand. You understand? We could close the gap. We could be in the top four. You understand? Relegation battle, same thing. You get me? So for me, if they're gonna void it and look at the points, they have to go back to the previous season, which was completed in full, and then we finished fifth. But then because of the whole points thing, Tottenham get dash out, Chelsea get dash out. You get me? Like I'm loving life, bro. You get me? Like it will be like the the old Champions League. You get me? Where it's Arsenal. I think they're saying this. It won't be the old Champions League because the old Champions League was Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, and United. But it's going to be Arsenal, City, United, and Liverpool. So you get me?
Yeah, and then obviously it could be Spurs as well, because you have to remember that City are on a ban at the moment, so it's going to be Tottenham that gets in there. Not that I want Tottenham to get in there, but yeah, it could be that, you know, because they're obviously Man City, they're still on a ban through all this madness. So we just don't know, do we? I guess it's I've always said all along, we need Champions League football so bad to the point that it could alter the course of our direction as a football club, you know, because if we get Champions League football, we can possibly tie Aubameyang down to a new contract. We could possibly, it will make it easier to attract players like Thomas Partey and maybe Upamecano. But if we're stuck in the Europa League or even out of Europe, I just fear for us as a club, because I don't think we can cope with that. We haven't got the financial backing as other clubs.
But Kroenke, I don't know. I don't trust Kroenke, you get me? I've never trusted him. But he's talking about he's going to put a cash injection into the club finally. So, you get me? Who knows if that's going to happen? But I don't trust him, you get me? He ain't done nothing. So, I don't believe that he's going to do anything now. You get me? So,
you see the cash injection, no Troopz. I actually think that that's going to go to the non-playing staff. I don't think that's going to go anywhere on the pitch.
But if they're doing the 12 point, if they're doing this whole pay cut thing, then that should be more than enough to pay the non-playing staff. You get me? Kroenke can just understand, just inject it. We're not this guy's a real dickhead, blood, because we're not saying to him like, oh yeah, give us like flipping 500, 600 million. We're saying, yo, just give us 200 million and we can go out and do some serious business and get our club back where it's supposed to be. You understand? But he's just sitting on his hands, blood.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, we all know that Kroenke loves to penny pinch. Listen, he penny pinches more than my missus. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, she likes a bargain, but this Kroenke's moving in pound stretchers. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's proper mad. It is mad. Over 21 people watching live. Hit the subscribe button, people, and do put a like on this video. So, Troopz, what do you think about Aubameyang? Do you think he will stay? Because listen, I know he's your guy. You know, he's your guy. Come on, is he gonna stay? Have you guys had little chats? You know, hit him up on Insta.
You know what? Yeah, when it comes to like me and Abba talk, innit? You understand? We talk, but when it comes to like contract situations, like he's not gonna tell me. You understand? He's not gonna tell me. I'm telling you, bro. If he told me, I'll tell you, though, innit? Like, you get me? But
so get him on the green stuff, and then make him sign the contract.
You get me? Like, get me? There's ways, you feel me? But like at the moment, I don't think he'll leave. You understand? I think if he does leave, I think he'll leave the country. You understand? I don't think he'll jump ship and go to another Premier League club. I don't think he has that nature in him, because when you look at the level, like he turned down France to play for Gabon. You understand? France were begging him like, please play for us, like, and he said like, bro, I'm playing for Gabon. You get me? So it shows that he's got a bit of class to him. You get me? And you don't have that Van Persie or that Sanchez mentality. You get me? So me personally, like, I think he'll stay, but if he does go, then I think he's leaving the country, blood.
And if he goes, now it's being reported that we could get possibly 35, 40 million. Listen, that is nowhere near enough for Aubameyang. But would you take it, or rather would you?
Nah, no way, blood. We bought him for 55 million at the time. You understand? And for me, he's worth more than that now, blood. I don't care about age because he's not slowing down. His goal ratio is still high. You understand? He's still one of the best out and out centre forwards in the world, blood. And these times he's playing on the left hand side, blood. You don't even play down the middle, blood. You understand? If you put him down the middle, he'll probably score even more goals, blood. You understand? So for me, you have to, it's like minimum 100 million if you want a Aubameyang, blood. 100 million minimum. It'd be more if he was younger. But because he's about to turn 31, I'd say 100 million is what I'd ask for. Because at least with 100 million, you can actually go out into the striker market and you could look about, like, you get me, and you could maybe get a not a like for like replacement, but you can get a quality striker for 100 million.
See, I would agree with you ordinarily, Troopz, but you have to look at certain situations in the sense that, listen, when football does come back, teams aren't going to be able to afford, like 100 million because, this whole crisis is hitting every club. And the thing that I worry with Aubameyang is keeping him and letting him go on a free. I don't want that to happen because all while he's not signing that contract, Aubameyang's got all the cards. He holds all the cards. He could not sign a contract and walk out for free. And I would rather get 40 million's a smack in the face to what he's worth, but I would rather take that than have him walk out for a free and we don't get nothing for him. Because we've seen that with Alexis Sanchez, and we ended up with Mkhitaryan in return, and look how that's worked out.
But Alexis ain't really gone on to do great things. You get me? So
yeah,
if Alexis never, me personally, I say like we got rid of Alexis and we got Aubameyang. You get me? So,
yeah, because Aubameyang did come in.
Yeah, he was the Alexis replacement. Mkhitaryan was the Walcott replacement.
Yeah,
we saw Walcott in that window. He was the Walcott replacement. Sanchez, that was Aubameyang. Aubameyang was the replacement, man. You understand it? And if you look at it, we kind of like, understand, we kind of improved our striker, blood, because Alexis was kind of on a downhill slope and Aubameyang's just been like up, you understand? So you get me? For me, we have to do all we can to keep him, blood. Like, if you accept 40 million for him, like, he's gonna sit there and be like, nah, you know what? I'm going, fuck it, like, you understand? These men don't even care, bro. They don't even value me, you understand? Because you have to value a man like that. You get me? He's the captain, he's our talisman. You get me? Whenever we need someone, it's him, blood. You understand?
Yeah, and he does. He carries us for a lot of games.
Yeah.
I don't know, and the problem as well with giving Aubameyang a new contract. See, I reckon they should be putting that contract right now and say, listen, this is what we're offering. But the problem you've got is you've got Ozil on 350 grand a week, and you can't really justify giving him that money. But Aubameyang, he should be earning more than what Ozil's getting, and obviously Arsenal can't afford that, which is like 400, maybe 500 grand a week. Because you can't go lower than Ozil, because it just it's unfair to Aubameyang and it just undermines the whole thing. So you've got to go higher, and I just don't think Arsenal are going to pay that. I
don't think, me personally, I don't think it's a money thing. I don't think it's got nothing to do with money. I think he's at a point in his career. If you look at this situation, it's very similar to the Van Persie situation. He's at that point in his career where this is the last major contract you will sign, blood. This is the last one. So the choice has to be the right choice, blood. You get me? He can't rush into it. That's why I think he's taking his time. For me, it's not a money thing. You understand? Aubameyang's a winner. You get me? Money is not a thing to him. The guy's got money. You see him driving around his Lamborghini, his Ferrari, but Lamborghini Jeep. You understand? Like, he don't care. Like, he's got a big chain on. He's loving life, blood. His money's long. You understand? His money is long, blood. His money runs down the wing like Mo Salah, blood. I swear to God, blood. That's how long his money is, fam. You understand? But for me, I think it's like the Van Persie situation where he's looking at it and he's like, if these man, like, I want to stay, but you man are moving like lads, blood. You understand? And it's down to the blood. I think he wants to stay. I just think they have to show how much we want him. Because I think he's that kind of player, blood, where you understand, he wants to feel loved. He didn't feel loved at the end of his tenure at Dortmund, and that's why he came to us, blood.
Yeah, and you listen, he's definitely loved here. Do you know what I mean? Listen, he's a fan's favorite, and he's
mad love.
And that's the thing. And would you say like Arsenal is starting to show ambition, like in the sense that the players we've been linked with, and the players in the last summer transfer window, we brought Pepe in, and we're linked with Partey if the rumours are true. I always say, until those players walk through the door at Arsenal and go to the training centre and start wearing the shirt, and that, you can never 100% believe it. But we've never ever been linked. Well, we have been linked with those players, but not as strongly as in recent times.
I think that's a lot to do with the new regime. You understand? I think Raul, Edu, they're more football people than Gazzy, that's the bald prick. You understand? These men actually know what they're doing, blood. You get me? They know good footballers.
Yeah.
They're gonna go out and buy a fucking Javinho. You get me? When you could have got fucking Hazard, you could have got Hazard, but then you pick Javinho, blood. You understand? So these men are the kind of man that if they see an upper Moncano, they're gonna be like, you know what? That's the kind of player we need at our club. They're not gonna be like, let's go buy, I don't know, flipping. Who's a shit defender, blood? I don't know. No disrespect, like big up your damn self, blood. You're a fellow Jamaican. You won the Premier League. You might have been the first Jamaican to actually win the Premier League. You played for Jamaica, but like, Wes Morgan, blood. You understand? It's like us. You understand? Gazidis will go for Wes Morgan. You get me?
Yeah.
And then Raul and them will be like, nah, we're going for Upper Moncano, blood. You understand? We need levels to our club, blood. You understand? We're a big club, blood. Why are we buying? You understand? Mediocre players, blood. You understand? Like
I think a lot of that was to do with Wenger as well. Listen, he had too much power at this club. Too much power.
Wenger, I don't know, man, because Wenger, you get me? One thing, like, you get me? I think like he got Alexis, he got Ozil, he got Santi. You understand? He did buy well when he wanted. You understand? They gave him El Neni and them thing there. You get me? You can't really work with that, blood. You get me? And then obviously he was kind of fucking up as a manager as well, blood. So when you're getting shit players, you can't even make them good, blood. You get me? So.
But I'm going to ask you this though, Troopz, as well. Would you really say that Ozil's been a good buy for us?
This is. Jesus, I don't know. I don't know. It's Ozil, yeah. It's a tough one, blood, because he's had some moments where you're like, oh my god, you understand? But it's for me, it's the away games, blood. The big away games when I expect my stars to step forward and, you understand, do a madness. He never really did that, blood. You get me? He didn't really do that, blood. You understand? A lot of people blame that down to what was in front of him. You understand? I.e. Donkey Kong. You get me? Giroud. But
yeah,
I think Ozil was amazing, yeah, until the 17-18 season. I think when we beat Chelsea in the FA Cup final, I think that was his last good season. I think up until then he was a great signing, but I think he fell off from them, blood. For me, the last 3 years he's been useless, fam. You understand? For me, the last 3 years.
I've always said
it's like 50-50. It's the first half was it's kind of like Wenger. The first half was like good, but then the second half was just like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you understand? Like, you're supposed to be levels and you're moving like a fucking up. Like, what are you doing, bro? I don't get it. Like, you get me?
Do you know the thing with Ozil, and I said this for quite some time, that I don't think he's suited to the Premier League. Listen, the Premier League is so physical, and obviously when he was tearing it up in Spain, they're not really a physical league. They're just like a two-team league. So I just think Ozil had a lot more route. I don't think Ozil likes coming up against your likes of Stokes and your like your Sheffields and that. They just, I think he hates that type of game. I honestly, and I think that's where he struggled.
Yeah.
And in the Premier League, you need players who are going to put in the work rate.
Yeah.
And I don't think he does that enough for me.
I will say, and I've said it, like since Arteta's come in, his work rate has stepped up. Like his work rate has really stepped up since Arteta's come in. But I mean, Ozil, you're there for assist, blood, and I can't remember your last assist, bro. You understand? Like that's like I said, for me, Ozil's reign at Arsenal is 50-50. The first like 2-3 years, I was like, yes, we got Ozil, Mesut Ozil, all of that. You understand? Fanboy, all of that, blood. No lies, blood. When we got Ozil, I was gassed off my head, blood. Because I was tired of seeing these fucking Girouds and fucking big up Kallstrom, but fucking Kim Kallstrom and Javinios and
coming with back problems.
You understand? Like fucking Squillaci. I'll take it back to Squillaci and them man there, bruv. Like when I saw Mesut Ozil coming, I said, "Oh my god, bruv, we have bought a world class player, blood. You understand? We have bought a diamond in world football, blood." And when he came in, like I said, up until that 2017 season, he was on bits, blood. You understand? He would go ghost in a few games, and they were mainly away games, but majority of the time he was doing madness, blood. But then I think literally from 17-18, Wenger's last season, I think that's when he just fell off, blood.
Yeah, I think as well. I don't know. Like for me, like Özil, I think he doesn't score enough goals as well. Like he doesn't score enough goals and he misses easy chances. I remember the game against before this madness all kicked off. The game against West Ham, he missed 2 absolute sitters.
Yeah,
I'm like, Özil, you should be doing a lot better. Do you know what I mean? Look, someone like Kevin De Bruyne and that's putting those chances away, and yet you're just missing them. And he's not really
a finishing type, innit? He likes to assist. You get me? He likes to put it on a plate for someone. You get me? But that's Ozil's never really been a goal scoring midfielder. You get me? Like his assist ratio is mad, but it's fallen off.
Yeah, he's got less. He's got less assists than Bruno Fernandes at Man United.
Yeah,
and Bruno Fernandes has only been there like a couple of months.
But you see, Bruno Fernandes, that signing is for me, it's like for like when we got Ozil. When Ozil came in, it was just like anything he touched was just bing, 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 whatever. Goals. I remember his first goal against Napoli, blood. That side foot half volley. I was like, bro, is this what we got on the carpet now, blood? Is this what I'm seeing week in, week out on the carpet? I said, what the fuck, blood? What the fuck are you playing that, blood? Why didn't they get this guy from fucking years ago, blood? You understand?
Do you know the funny thing is, Troopz, right? I said that because everyone keeps asking me when in my opinion, when Ozil's last best game was, and I always said that 2-0 victory over Napoli in his first season, that was the last good game I can remember.
Oh my god!
Ozil had. That is mad.
You don't remember Ludogorets away?
I don't remember Ludogorets away. Do you know what? I had
even Liverpool.
I remember that. I remember that season, right? I had mad depression, so I wasn't really into watching any football. But the one game I do, I know he put a shift in, this season against United. But for me, if he does that on a consistent basis, I think he could have a career at Arsenal. Still have a good, successful career. But he doesn't do that enough on a consistent basis.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And when he does do it, he sort of makes a rod for his own back, because when he does do it, people go, "Oh wow, he can do this." And then when he has all these poor performances, people are like, "Well, we know what you can do, so why aren't you doing this on a consistent basis?"
It's true, man. I just think that I think he fell out of love with football, but I think Arteta's kind of brought that love back for him. Because you can see,
what do you think?
Under Emery, he didn't really give a shit, but under Arteta, it looks like he cares.
Listen, mate, from all the stuff I've been reading, I think Emery was more interested in these girls than blooming managing Arsenal. Do you know what I mean?
The white witch. Man called her the white
Yeah,
witch. I couldn't believe it. Man said the white witch, blood. I couldn't believe it.
that's just a mad. I always said though as well that Emery was never for me the right appointment after Wenger. And you know, I even would, when Wenger left, I even said I think we should go with Arteta. I know a lot of people didn't really want Arteta, but I think we should have gone with him straight away.
I think
But
that
I'm
extra
still,
year. I think that extra year has kind of helped him.
yeah, and I do. I listen. You don't. A lot of people go, oh, but he's Pep's number 2, and he, just not all number 2s make it as managers. But my thing is, right, Pep Guardiola's not going to have anybody in his team in his inner circle if they're not no good.
Yeah.
And I just think you give Arteta money, and he's going to do absolute bits with this team. Do you know what I mean? He is going to get us back to challenging for titles. I can see it. But
yeah,
the board have got to back him. Which is the sticking point.
Yeah, and it's always been the sticking point. Is them, the board. That's what's put us in this predicament. It's the board.
Yeah. And where do you stand on? Listen, going back to Özil for a second.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on this whole him refusing to take a pay cut? Because listen, it's a madness. If I'm being honest, I actually don't think I can't understand why he's not taking a pay cut. If everyone else is doing it, okay, I know there's 2 others alongside him, but I actually can't understand why he's not. Listen, Arsenal's not had a good week this week, in terms of covering themselves in glory.
Yeah, with that one, for me, like I've heard that he wants to donate the 12.5 directly to the NHS. That's why he doesn't want to give it to Arsenal or something like that. I've heard that the players are actually pissed off that the way the media have flipped it on Ozil, like, oh, he's on 350k. Oh, I see Piers Morgan running up his mouth again. You understand? Like, I tried to tweet him, but the piece of shit blocked me. You get me? So
did he actually block?
Yeah, he got blocked, blood. You understand? Like, he's there being best friends with Robbie, but he's got me blocked, blood. The Wallad fam. You understand? Wallad, blood. If he watches this, blood, he's a fucking wanker, mate. You understand?
Yeah, this guy, Piers Morgan,
like Ozil does a lot, innit? Like, he does a lot. He does a lot for charities. Him and his wife, they both do a lot. They both give a lot. They both funded a lot. And for me, like, if he's saying that, yo, I would rather give it to the NHS directly than give it to you, man, then I don't see the problem, blood. You get me? Like, I think his agent has a lot to do with it, because there was rumors that his agent said, "Oh, if they ask you
his agent come out and said, "Oh, I advise all my clients,
to
take a pay cut."
Yeah. So I think the agent is the one we should be going for. You get me? For me, like, I'm not Ozil's biggest fan. Everybody knows this. You get me? Like, I buy my blood clot, yeah, like our blood clot set. That's my brothers, innit? Like, but with like. So people would think that when this come out, I'd be like, oh yeah, fuck Ozil, all this, all that. But I was like, bro, you know what, yeah? Let me actually read into this and actually find out the ins and out of this situation. And then when I've kind of, you understand, deciphered it and picked out what I picked out, I'm like, bro, to me, it looks like he wants to give the money directly to the NHS. So why don't the media tell the true story? The reason why they don't is because they never fucking tell the true story, blood. They just sell papers to sell papers, blood. You understand? They blatantly know if they put that out in the media, Arsenal fans are the most, like, if you put something out to a fan base, yeah, and you want them to buy, Arsenal fans are the fan base you pick, blood. Because the Arsenal fans just bite at everything, blood. They just dare like a little little Yorkshire Terrier, just biting at everything. Like, brother, can't you not see what these lot are trying to do? They're trying to make man bite. And when you see man like fucking this John Hot Cross Bun, you understand? Man like John Hot Cross Bun, yeah? Man there, writing the story, blood. You already know that it's bullshit, fam. You understand? Like,
That guy is clueless. That guy is absolute clueless. John Cross, you know, I just...
You have to look at the kind of people that's writing these stories, blood. You understand? The kind of people these are, blood. You get me? Man like John Hawcross Buns, fam. Like, come on, blood. This guy gets paid to talk shit for a living, blood. You get me? Like, I don't expect any less, bro. You get me? Like, I do not expect any less, blood. Like,
and the thing is, as well, Özil, since Wenger left, Özil's taken Wenger's place in terms of causing the divide between the fan base.
Yeah, you know, but it's literally like Ozil in, Ozil out. And like the Ozil ins are actually like the Wenger ins, blood. They're so like die hard, like they will, you understand? They will flipping get Ozil tattooed on their arm, blood. You get me? They will flipping get a knife and tattoo themselves Ozil, blood. You understand? Like they'll be kind of like flipping going when they see Ozil, they'll be cutting their hand. Yeah, let's be blood brothers. Yeah. Like the Ozil in fan base are a tapped fan base, blood. They are a tapped fan base, fam. You understand? Because like I said, blood, me, I'm not an Ozil guy, blood. But this 12.5 thing, I kind of defend him still. But like, if it comes, like, I want him out anyway, though, blood.
For me, Özil, I was not ever a big Özil fan, but the final straw for me was when he just literally walked off the pitch in Baku. The Baku incident was like, you know what? We're trying to get back into this game. We're getting absolutely battered, and you're strolling around like you're going through your garden with your grandma. Do you know what I mean? What's going on? Yeah. And you know,
but he's got he's got his whole persona is that though, isn't it? That laid back. I don't give a fuck. That's just Ozil. You get me? So you can't really like for me with Ozil. Yeah, you know that he's got that lazy look about him. You get me? So when he does shit like that, I don't really look into it like because I'm like, bruv, that's just Ozil, like that's just how he is, blood. You get me? But like other people will kind of use it as a, you get me? But me, I'm just like, bro, that's just Ozil, blood. He's just that guy, like he has that. I don't give a shit, man. I'm the man. Yeah. Look at me, man. Yeah, I walk up as slow as I want. Yeah, that's just Ozil, blood. You get me?
Yeah, it's mad. Listen, I don't know. I wouldn't be sad if Özil left the club because I do think we can do better. And, you know, a lot of people are, you know, I mean, there's been reports going around that, you know, we could possibly get Partey in exchange for Lacazette. And a lot of people are sort of saying, well, you know, Lacazette's done nothing this season. But I do think part of that is down to the lack of service. And that's the problem. I think if you have somebody with a bit more creativity to give Lacazette the service, I think he could do a lot better.
Yeah, he could, because when you look at him in previous seasons, he's done well. You get me? This was probably his first bad season. And you have to remember, he started the season with an injury. He was 60% fit. You get me? That America tour, he wasn't fit. Went into the Newcastle game, 60% fit. Got injured. He was out for about 2 months, and then when he come back, he come into a situation where the whole Emery fuck up was starting to happen. You get me? The whole crumble situation started to happen. So he didn't even come into a time when, you get me, the team was on at least a good run of form. So then he can't pick up his form. There's no confidence in the team. Where's he gonna get confidence from? He ain't scored for a couple of games. Confidence goes. Then the run continues. More confidence goes. But then as soon as he got that goal, he's been firing, blood. You understand? I think since he got that goal against who was it, blood? When he scored in the last minute, fam. I can't even remember who it was, but he scored last minute, and then from then I think he scored in his next 3. I think he scored in his next 3 games, blood. You understand? So
was it the Olympiacos game away?
Nah. He scored before the Olympiacos game because he scored away from home against Olympiacos.
I can't remember, you know. This flipping lockdown just wiped my whole entire memory of the last couple of months. You know what I mean?
Like 2020 for me, it hasn't even fucking started yet, blood. I'm still in 2019, blood.
Do you know what? Right, I say this as well. I'll certainly remember my bloody 30th because that was the day this all started, the lockdown. Do you know what I mean? So it's like. Yeah, I was just like, really, you could have done it like a couple of days after.
Yeah.
But no, you had to do it on the day of my fucking birthday. What a fucking... It's mental. It is mental.
It's crazy.
It is. I want to talk a little bit about Arteta because he's, he's come in and he's had possibly the worst difficult start that you could ever imagine. He come in, he had to pick all the players up, from obviously Emery's shambolic managerial skills, and they were low on confidence. And then just when he's getting some momentum, all this happens. And then obviously he gets the virus himself. Thankfully, he's recovered from that.
Yeah.
But how do you think he's done under the circumstances and considering the shit players he's got to work with?
I think he's done wonders, blood. You understand? I think he's worked miracles, blood, because firstly, the football we were seeing was absolute dog shit, blood. You understand? It wasn't even football, blood. You get me? It was kick and run. You get me? It was put 10 man behind the ball. You get me? Play 5 at the back with 2 DMs. It was ridiculous, blood. You understand? Secondly, There was no passion. There was no fight in the team. There was no drive. There was no ideas. The fans were fucking started to fight again. You understand? We thought the infighting had stopped. The infighting started again. You understand? Arteta has just gone. He's come in and it's like he's got a brush. And he's just like brushing all this shit out, blood. Brushing all this shit out. And he's just, let me, dropping his little fairy dust all over them. Let me come like Tinkerbell, blood. You understand? Just come and just on certain man. Because it looked like he sprayed fucking fairy dust on Mustafi, blood. Because my man had turned into Fabio fucking Cannavaro in his prime in the fucking World Cup 2006. You understand?
Yeah.
He put Granit Xhaka into fucking Patrick Vieira / Claude Makaleli, blood. You get me? I'm sitting there scratching my head like, is this fucking Xhaka, blood? Is this Mustafi, bro? Like, what is going on, G? Like, you understand? He's brought harmony to the club. The fans are happy again. The fans are excited. Like, you want to go to the game again. I was going, like, under Emery, Emery, the end of his reign, it turned into Wenger reign for me. I was like, blood, I'm literally just going to watch Arsenal. I'm not even enjoying it, blood. I'm literally wasting my time going, blood. There's no enjoyment. I'm going to drive to fucking Leicester or fucking Wolves or fucking Newcastle or fucking, I don't know, any fucking where and get smacked up 4-0, 3-1, all this shit. Now, under Arteta, like, I'm going away from home and I'm like, bro, we're not losing today, blood. I'm like, we're not losing today. When we're playing teams at home, I'm like, yo, we are winning. Yeah, we're winning this game, blood. He's changed the whole mentality of the club, blood. You understand? The fight he showed as well to beat Corona, blood, just shows you the type of man he is, fam. You get me?
Yeah. And when he done his first press conference and you listen to some of the stuff that he was saying, you just, like, for me, I knew that we'd got somebody who's a winner, and you could tell he's got a clear plan. And, when
we picked him, I was like, nope, not happy. Nope, not happy at all. Like, I wanted like an Allegri. I wanted an experienced man to come in and, you understand, school these man, grab these man, shake the fuck out of them, dash them around the changing room and tell them go play for their fucking lifeblood on that pitch for 90 minutes. That's what I wanted. I didn't think Arteta was capable of doing that, blood. But get me, since my man's come in, I'm straight with it. I didn't want Arteta, blood. I was like, nah. When the link was, I was like, nah. But then what turned me on this man is I watched that press conference. Like you just said, I watched that press conference and I said, nah, blood, this man here, he knows what he's talking about. He's got a vision. He wants to go places, blood. He wants to go somewhere, blood. And you know what? I'm coming with you, blood. Wherever you go, I'm going, blood. You, all right, I'm with it, blood. You understand? And he's enlightened that in me, blood. He's ignited you understand? Because obviously I love Arsenal, but I was like, fuck this shit. What am I going to that game for, blood? You understand? What's the point, blood? Now it's like, football's gone and I'm like, nah, I want football back, like.
And you can tell that he's learned from Guardiola in some of the stuff that he's doing.
High press, you understand? The way that the triangles, when we're playing, we play in triangles, the high press, the way that he overlaps the right back and the left backs. It's all Pep, blood. It's all, you can see that he's gone there. He's learned what he's learned. He's got his little piece. He's got his piece that he's learned from Wenger. He brought in Steve Rounds because obviously he played under Steve Rounds at Everton, so he knows that maybe he can bring something to the table. Even his backroom staff, like, he's picked it wisely, blood. You understand? He's got footballing man around him, like, and I'm like, yeah, blood, like I'm with this, blood. Mikel Bloodclot Arteta, are you mad?
Yeah, and it listen, I think he'll do all right. And
Yeah.
what I want to ask you, Troopz, is how long would you give him?
Arteta.
Yeah, how long do you give him to sort of
if he continues
turn things around?
If he continues the way he's going, like before this coronavirus thing come in, if the season starts back and he picks it up where he left it, then for me he's got as much time as he wants, blood. You understand? Because I am seeing progression. I'm seeing everything I want to see on that pitch, blood. You understand? I believe. I'm with you. And for me, if things continue how they are going, then we'll be back again in no time, blood. You get me? So for me, stick with Arteta, blood. You get me? Just tell these fucking tight board members, yeah, stop moving tight and unleash the fucking money, blood. Yeah, like Jerry Maguire says, blood. Show me the money. Yeah, show me the money.
See, I said, I said on a stream a couple of days ago, I said I'll give him 5 years. Mm-hmm. I'll give him 2 years to get back into the Champions League. Because listen, we ain't getting it this season unless they void the season.
Yeah, unless they
Yeah, we ain't getting it this season. Next season, possibly not, because I don't think we can get the players in this season. Depending, maybe get one or two of our targets in. But listen, we're not going to get the quality. Maybe to come in. So I said 2 seasons back in the Champions League, and then 3 to 4 seasons we've got to be at least challenging for the title, and then 5 years if we're not challenging for the title, then there's some massive problem.
But I can see that in a few years we'll be competing for the title, man. 100%.
I hope so. I really do.
Just got to stick with him and tell the board to fuck him.
And the thing with Arteta as well is that I watched an interview that he did, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, and he said that he planned 3 scenarios for the transfer window. And I think one of them is with Champions League football, one of them is Europa League football, and one of them is with no European football at all.
Yeah, he's a smart man. We've always had managers who sat on their arse and waited for something to happen. We've got a man now that reacts before it happens. You understand? We don't have people that sit down and then the fuck up happens and they're like, oh shit, nah, you know what? Let's Arteta's like, nah, you know what? Yeah, but watch this now. If we don't get Champions League, then what are we gonna do? We need to plan from now. We need to plan all scenarios, man. You understand? So it shows you that he's got it there, blood.
Now, if you're in Arteta's shoes, what players would you sell? Yeah, granted, it's probably half the squad, but
that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so much man you'd get rid of. It's just crazy, bro. You understand? There's a lot to get rid of, but
if you had 5 players, so go with 5 players, because we're not going to get rid of them all in one window. Yeah. So if the board said to you, "Oh, we can only move out 5 players," who would be on that list?
Bellerin. For me personally, like I got like other people, will want Bellerin out because he don't like AFTV and da da da. I don't give a shit, blood. You understand? When he came out and said what he said about AFTV, I was the one person that was like, blood. He's entitled to his opinion. You get me? I don't agree with his opinion, but that brother is entitled to his opinion, and it ain't nothing to me. It's water off a duck. You get me? But Bellerin's one that I would sell because I believe that. You understand? He's lost his pace, blood. He's lost his strength. His final ball. It's not there. You understand?
I think that's serious injury.
Not even that, blood. He's from when we played we played Chelsea away and Alonso scored the first goal, and Bellerin went up for a header with him. And Alonso elbowed him. And since that elbow to his head, he ain't been the same, blood. He ain't been the same because that elbow happened. Then he turned vegan. Then he turned model. He's doing all of this madness, and you get me. And now, and you get me. Like for me, when Bellerin first came in, I thought to myself, "Rotted blood. We got a little. You get me? We got a Lee Dixon here, blood. You understand? We got a man that we can have here as our right back for a good 10 years, blood. You get me? And he'll be at the highest level. But like I said, from he got that elbow, I don't know if like you get me. The money he got, I don't know what got to him, bro. Because before, like he was, you understand? But for me, Bellerin would go. I'd who else, blood? I'd get rid of Xhaka. I have to be real because you got like Torreira and you got Torreira there. And if you're going for a man like Party, then you don't need you don't need Xhaka. You get me? I'd get rid of Mustafi. Mustafi has to go. I'd get rid of David Luiz. I'd get rid of Luiz, blood. And one more blood. El Neni. El Neni's still at the club. He's got to go. Yes. You understand? I don't know how this guy got a loan deal, blood. You get me? Like, just cut, fam. You understand? Let's just cut ties with that brother, blood. You get me? Like, but that's probably the five I'd sell. Even
see the thing is, if we get
with Ainsley, because I don't know, man. I'm 50-50 Ainsley.
Maitland-Niles, the problem with him, I think he shot himself in the foot because he was playing. Yeah, and he was doing all right at right back. You know, he was doing all right, but he's obviously, I think he wanted to play in his central midfielder, which I don't think he's good there at all. You know, I don't think that's his. I don't think he's good there at all, and I just think that you're playing for Arsenal. Does it matter what position you're playing at? And you're doing a good job. If you're doing a good job, why are you going to talk yourself out of a starting position?
When Arteta dropped him and put Bellerin back in, we was all like, what the fuck? What's he done to get dropped? He's been great since Arteta came in. Ainsley, Saka, Xhaka, Mustafi, they really upped their levels and Ozil, they really upped their levels when Arteta came in, blood. When Arteta came in, them players that I just said, they really upped their levels, blood. Leno kept his levels. Aubameyang kept his levels. Get me? Flipping Laka, all of them man there kept their level, blood. Yeah. But them man there, they raised their level, blood. They raised their game another level, and that's why I don't know. Maybe it's an attitude thing with Ainsley, blood, because football. For me, the footballing ability is there, blood. So it's you got to look deeper into it. It's got to be an attitude thing.
Yeah, and I think as well, if we get Partey, I think that will be it for Torreira. I can't see him staying.
I want to keep Torreira though. I'd keep Torreira because Torreira Party, that's a madness, but ain't no one coming through that. I
just don't think he's happy, Torreira. Listen, I don't think he's settled, and I think as soon as a club comes in for him, I think he's going to go, do you know what, can I leave? Because he's not settling in London. He doesn't like the weather. He doesn't, you know. And I think that's.
But now it's hot. You get me?
Yeah, yeah. It is mad. Lots of positions. So, if you could fill 2 positions in the transfer window, what would they be? Because like I've seen lots of positions being floated around. You know, I've seen us being linked with a loan move for Coutinho. I've seen us being linked for Partey with Upamecano. And I'm like, listen, all these positions ain't getting filled this window, especially in this, you know, with all this corona crisis and all that.
Yeah. I'd go for a centre-back and a midfielder. So like an Upamecano and a Partey.
To me, if we got both of them, that'd be done. Transfer window done.
Yeah, you're
for
ready.
me. If we got Partey, got Upamecano, and Aubameyang signed a contract, for me, that'd just be the best window ever in the circumstances.
Yeah, fully, it would be.
But I don't know. I would be happy seeing Lacazette leave the club simply because I want to see Aubameyang in that central position with Martinelli and Pepe on either side of him. I think, listen, that front three, that will tear up any Premier League defence.
Yeah, but Pepe, Pepe is my guy. You get me? But he's still got a lot to do. And Martinelli as well. He's young blood. He needs to keep his head.
Yeah, he's got to do it for another season.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to do it for another season, Martinelli.
Yeah, fully.
So I'm going to wrap up in a second, Troopz, but I want to ask you one final thing. Where do you see us in 2 seasons' time?
That's I don't know, man. With this coronavirus, blood, you don't even know, fam. You get me? You don't know how the club's gonna come out of this situation. But if we got Arteta and they back him, then 2 years' time we'd probably be back in the Champions League fully, like season after season after season, properly back in the Champions League. I say in the next 2 years under Arteta. But if they don't back him, then boy, we're in trouble.
Yeah, I agree. They've got to back him. You know, they've got to give him the funds.
Yeah.
You know, none of this messing around, regardless of the situation that's, you know, that we're all going on, that everything's happening at the moment. They've got to back him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to wrap up now, Troopz. But listen, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it.
No problem, bro. Come on, man. You know you're my guy, Dan.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. And listen, you know, please, you know, if you can share my channel around. I've just started this up over 2 months ago. So, you know, I'm on the start of the YouTube journey, so to speak.
Yeah.
But listen, it's been mad. It's been absolute mad since I started it. It's just gone crazy.
Yeah.
But thanks for coming on. I definitely would love to have you on in the future. You know, as well. Everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Do again smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. That's, you know, that's really important to help this channel grow. I'll be back tomorrow at 3:30 in the afternoon with my regular stream. Until then, guys, hope enjoy the rest of your evening.